Hey guys! So today's movie I'm going to be discussing is the latest film from the Russo brothers called The Grey Man. In a post-Avengers Endgame world, it's not just Phase 4 of the MCU, which is having difficulty finding its footing. The directors of Avengers Endgame, the Russo brothers, they seem to be a little lost too. They've been making these straight-to-streamer action movies with Marvel talent on board to give them a boost. First was Cherry with Tom Holland, that was an Apple TV exclusive, and now they've called up Chris Evans to play the baddie in their latest globe-trotting Netflix film called The Grey Man, which is an adaptation of the novel of the same name by Mark Greaney. Now granted, these aren't by any means cheap movies. Apparently The Grey Man cost over $200 million to make, which makes it tied for the most expensive Netflix film ever made, along with Red Notice. But after pulling off the hugely successful Avengers two-hander with Infinity War and Endgame being some of the most beloved and most profitable films ever made, it's only natural that their subsequent projects would come up a little bit short. So what did I think of The Grey Man? I thought it was fine. Like, I had some fun watching it. It certainly was a step up from the abysmal Cherry. I'll pop a link up here if you want to check my thoughts out on that film. But, I don't know, I found The Grey Man a bit flat overall. Like, it is ticking a lot of boxes. Like, it's got a talented all-star cast, it's got some fun action sequences, and a lot of it was shot on location rather than on a soundstage. That's always a bonus, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't gelling for me. I think what was missing was passion or heart. I just didn't see a lot of that in the end product. The plot is about a freelance assassin and former CIA operative called Six, who's played by Ryan Gosling. Six is a code name because he's a man who's meant to exist in the grey, hence the Grey Man way. Anyway, the baddie of this film is a former CIA cohort of Six's called Lloyd Hansen, who's played by Chris Evans, who puts a bounty on Six's head, so Six has to survive numerous assassination attempts, all the while trying to retrieve his handler, who's called Fitzroy. He's played by Billy Bob Thornton, as well as Fitzroy's niece, called Claire, and she's played by Julia Butters, who you guys might recognize as the little girl from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood who told Leonardo DiCaprio that was some of the finest acting she's ever seen. There's nothing outright bad about The Grey Man, it just doesn't really offer anything particularly new or fresh. It's just a very run-of-the-mill, generic, bombastic action movie. The plot is pretty conventional, it's an all too familiar concept. A roguish spy with a particular set of skills has to rescue some allies and also save his own skin. It's been done before, like, it's a little bit James Bond, it's a little bit Taken, it's a little bit Mission Impossible, but this film doesn't do anything to surpass any of those films. The only USP that I can think of about The Grey Man is that the Russo brothers employ a lot of drone camera work into the action sequences, and this technique rides a very fine line between being cool and being obnoxious. Like, some people are gonna find it very slick and very fun, and others are just gonna find it garish and annoying. I didn't mind it at first, but after a while it kind of gets a bit overused. I'm just like, okay, stop it now. I will say I'm glad that I got to see this on a cinema screen, because the geographical establishing shots as well as the action sequences are better appreciated on the grandeur of a big cinema screen. I don't think you're gonna get this same effect of it from watching this at home, which is kind of a reason I'm not a big fan of these straight-to-streamer action movies, because it's depriving audiences of the joy and the spectacle of watching these sequences on the big screen. On the positive side, the performances all around are generally good, it's just some characters have more to work with than others. Ryan Gosling is channeling some of that drive energy. You know, he's very good at making stoicism look very charismatic, and he turns in a good performance here. The real scene stealer of the film, though, is probably Chris Evans as Lloyd Hansen. Like, it's always fun watching Chris Evans, like, go against the grain of his Captain America image and just be a knobhead. Like, he's just good fun in this. Like, that's one really good positive about the film, is that it doesn't suffer from a lame antagonist or villain. Like, Lloyd Hansen, he is certainly a douche, but he is memorable and funny, and I enjoyed watching Chris Evans, like, first Knives Out and now this. Yeah, it's nice to see him having fun. Dhanush, who plays another hitman called Avik San, he's kind of a man of few words, but he turned in a pretty good performance as well. Frustratingly, it's the female characters which feel a bit sidelined in this film, for me anyways. Like, the script totally wastes Ana de Armas and Alfre Woodard. Neither of their characters are given that much backstory. Ana de Armas only had 12 minutes of screen time in No Time to Die, but she made a far bigger impact with that character than she does with this much more sizable part in The Grey Man. And Julia Butters does her best to give some life to a very underwritten character. So yeah, the script just doesn't do a lot of favors for the female characters, and to be honest, the dialogue is pretty atrocious in places. Like, you know that line from the trailer, you want to make an omelet, you gotta kill some people? Yeah, it's in here, they didn't cut it out, despite the backlash on Twitter. Yeah, that dialogue, it's up there with like the Halle Berry Toad line from X-Men, you know? You know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? Yeah, it's that bad. How that omelet line made it into the final product, I'll never know. So let's ask the 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? The Grey Man was fine once, but it doesn't have any repeat viewing appealability. I don't think I'd waste my time giving this another rewatch. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? It does have some entertainment value, like its action set pieces, charismatic stars, beautiful locations, etc. Like, if you do want to watch this film, I would suggest trying to catch it on a cinema screen, because it will be better appreciated for that, but no, this isn't a film I would push on people. Like, it's the type of film that I know people are going to watch anyways, so I don't feel the need to recommend it if you know if you're going to watch this or not. And third question, what score to give out of 10? Like, it's not a bad film, it just doesn't have anything particularly special about it. So I'm going to give The Grey Man a score of 4 out of 10. But as always, guys, that's just one bloke's opinion. I do want to hear from you if you've seen The Grey Man. What do you think of this movie? Am I being too harsh? Do you want to see a sequel for this? Do you want it to become a big franchise? Whatever you have to say, do let your voice be in that comment section down below. If you have enjoyed this video, help support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, it's all in that video description down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.